Hello YouTube. I was somewhat inspired by Aldous Valor and Agent of Doubt to record something because Aldous mentioned that no one uploads anything to YouTube in the middle of the night. And I think I've kind of wrecked my sleeping pattern for this weekend. And, I'm wide awake and it's 1:45 in the morning. So I thought that I would kind of ramble on about some things that I've been thinking about in the past week, and something which happened today. This afternoon, I decided to go to the park to start reading a book, which I recently checked out from the library. Um, I just like to get out of the house um, in order to better absorb the ideas somehow, I guess. Um, I seem to be able to do that better if I'm outside. If I'm somewhere, I live near the ocean, so I typically go to a park that's right on the coast. So, I have a nice view of the rolling waves and Catalina Island. It's peaceful. So, I was there reading my book, which was this book, and I checked out that book because it was recommended by Deep Ashtray in the comments on one of his videos. So I suppose you could consider this a shout out for his channel. He has some good things to say. And I was approached by a religious person in the park, but this experience was entirely different from the usual used car salesman style Christian evangelism. So this person, greeted me and wanted to know if I was having a good day, and I said yes. And they mentioned that um, they wanted they wanted God to bless me. So they said, "God bless you," and I hope that God reveals himself to you, that he proves himself to you. So, that was refreshingly ecumenical. And they asked if I was a believer, not, particularly in what, but that didn't really matter. And the reason they asked was they also mentioned that they wanted to know if the language they were using was unfamiliar to me, that it would have sounded strange. So, that made my response somewhat easier. And it's like, yeah, I have a lot of experience with this language. So, I was able to appreciate what they were saying. And, that it was done quite kindly and, entirely divorced um, from your typical evangelical message of, you being a filthy, worthless, hopeless sinner who needs to accept that Jesus was put to death so you didn't have to be. Thankfully missing. So LaDonna was the name of the person who greeted me. And immediately after she left, I immediately wanted to start deconstructing the sense of, significance that seemed to trickle from what she said. And, I don't know. I wanted to downplay the positive feelings that evoked. And, I just had to stop myself. It's like, just stop. Just stop trying to, I don't know, psychoanalyze um, the sense of warmness which I had been given for a few minutes, you know. I don't know. So I ended up thinking, it really doesn't matter, what cocktail of chemicals or whatnot is triggering this response. It's like, just feel free to experience it. So that was that. And I don't know, her mentioning of language also kind of made me think about this. And, this kind of goes with the video that I made in response to Labarum 312, about the problems with forensically interpreting religious texts. And so, I kind of thought that, after recording another video in response to that, where, I would go through some Bible passages and see how that creates a problem. Forensic analysis creates a problem. That I would put this, what I'm saying now, in another video. But I got to this first. And that is that, I've been trying to think of religions as, a type of language. A language, which we've constructed. It's an entirely human construction. But something which we've used to express, meaning and purpose for our lives, and ascribe a significance to our life events, which doesn't intrinsically exist, and that religious traditions could be adhered to simply because something of individual value is found in them. I know that dogma, kind of causes a problem for that kind of thinking, and the accusation of you're just picking and choosing. Well, everybody does that, but so I've been trying to think of the possibility of religious stories being seen in that kind of light, but I think that my fundamentalist and biblical literalist upbringing has kind of destroyed destroyed the ability to appreciate religious literature on a metaphorical or allegorical level, and eliminating the ability to simply, I don't know, to simply draw emotions or themes from the text, and kind of use the text, use the messages which you get from them as a springboard to inspire you, in your own endeavors, and provide you with some kind of impetus to keep going. And yeah, it's like I really don't have much capacity to do that. And I think that it's mostly because of the very crude way in which I was instructed to look at these things, and that you know, religion is memorizing a particular set of facts, and you need to make sure that you get your facts right, or you know, there's going to be really awful repercussions. And also, what seems to be you know, a reverse of what I was talking about, of you know, being able to draw metaphor and apply that in your own personal way to your own personal circumstances. And yeah, using that to ascribe meaning to, you know, your own endeavors. But rather, you know, the way I saw it was, you know, a proper assimilation of these lists of facts. You know, they would dictate, you know, what your endeavors in life were to be. You know, what you thought about what your endeavors in life should be didn't matter. You know, that would be dictated to you. And if that hasn't been dictated to you, then that means that you haven't properly assimilated these religious facts. And either that, or there's some personal weakness which is preventing you from doing so. And yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with you know, the apocalyptic fatalism, which I got from my evangelical, you know, rapture faith tradition. You know, where you essentially view human history as a closed system. You know, where the only thing that's left to happen is, you know, Jesus coming back, and you know, you need to be absolutely certain that your the orientation of your soul um, is proper, or there's going to be bad things happening. And you know, that nothing else really matters. That was the kind of message that I got from my religion. And because of that, I see kind of free-form adaptation or assimilation of these stories really impossible. At least it sure seems that way, and at least for now. But yeah, for some reason I seem to be cursed with faith, and the imperative to believe in something when I really don't seem to have that capacity anymore. Yeah, so yeah, this has kind of been a bit of a downer of a rant, I suppose. Um, but yeah, I guess, you know, God proved himself to me in the few moments of kindness I was extended. Anyway, I'll talk to everybody later.